in my opinion, could not have been.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Order in the court!
Okay, hopefully we can put those few nasty comments to rest. We all love Drip Drop, and I happen to be subscribed to both of his channels, and if you'd like my opinion on Drip Drop, I don't think anybody does better research in the whole true crime YouTube thing, you know what I mean? And if you're wondering about the makeup, there's several reasons why. Maybe you're not aware, but there is a band called ICP that wears clown makeup. If you were unaware, clown makeup makes your face untraceable in facial recognition because it focuses on your eyes, your nose, and your jawline. It is very risky to do true crime. I've seen myself interrogation videos on Drip Drop's channel where the people in the interrogation are actually in this chat. It's real, and it's scary. So I have a question for you. Do you believe in coincidence? And the reason that I'm asking you that is because there are a lot of coincidences and a lot of things that can relate to one another in the case of the Idaho 4, such as Brian Koberger and Brent Kopaka. One thing that they have in common is what happened on December 15th.
How y'all doing today? Good, good. Take a look at your driver's license real quick if I could. Is this your car? Okay, cool. Where are you headed?
Well, we're coming from WSU, and we're standing early.
What's WSU?
Yeah, I go to the university basically. And we're listening to that is 14 area. We're slightly punchy because we drive for hours.
Hours, days.
Hours to drive. Well,
Yeah.
almost a day.
Okay. And what did you say about some SWAT team thing? Or
Yeah,
something?
there was a mass shooting and everything. We don't know if it was a mass
Where?
We need all units to come to 311, top floor.
Just come out! Keep your hands up and come to the front door! Friends, we want this end peacefully!
So guys, Brian Koberger and Brent Kopaka both had interactions with law enforcement on the same day. Both interactions were kind of strange if you ask me. If they thought that they were on the trail of a quadruple murderer, don't you think they would have pulled him over before he reached Indiana? Well, I'm not sure why they had Brian Koberger in custody. A 911 call was made.
Allegedly.
Brent Kopaka had been threatening his roommates, and they were afraid. So they were coming to do an arrest, his roommates, who may or may not have been the ones that called 911. The officer that was at the press conference said he had no idea.
Do we know who the initial call came from?
No.
But the outcome of it was Brent Kopaka ultimately died. If you don't know where the call's coming from or who the call's coming from, it could be swatting. Swatting is not that new. So my theory would be, and this is just my opinion, that Brian Koberger and Brent Kopaka had both been in trouble for drugs before. But either way, I feel like they were in on a controlled buy. And during that controlled buy, something went wrong. I can't imagine one person thinking that they were so strong that they could just run up there on a house full of people, not knowing how many people are in there, because usually it's hundreds, and just do this. Impossible. I actually caught this video yesterday, which is pretty interesting, seeing that they're saying that the weapon was a K-bar knife.
From the text message my sister received from the FBI agent, apparently it is one of the most gruesome crime scenes he's ever been a part of. Ethan's legs were sliced all the way down to the hamstrings. One of the girls was stabbed 54 times and beaten so badly that every bone in her face was broken and so sunken in that she was unrecognizable. One of the cops said that one of the girls in the basement who survived went by the staircase and she thought it was Ethan and yelled at him to shut the fuck up, but it was actually the killer. The killer then left after he saw her, but she didn't know it was him though at the time.
A lot of interesting things to contradict such a thing. This is tragic and very, very graphic. Sorry if it makes you nauseous. It adds so much context.
This was a brutal weapon. It sounds like it was a professional type weapon that couldn't break, and they weren't stab wounds. You know, they were like large punctures.
In my opinion, could not have been done by one single person by themselves and with one weapon. You can let me know what you think, but to me, it seems like multiple people. I mean, I want to know what you think too, so obviously let me know. Allegedly, this is the route that Bryan Kohberger took. For one reason or another, he was driving down the road and stopped right in front of 1122 Queen Road. Here is the timeline given by the law enforcement. You can see Xana and Ethan are on the second floor, along with Dylan, Kaylee and Maddie on the top floor, Murphy across, and Bethany all the way downstairs. So, this is the timeline. The suspect or suspects do come in through the sliding door with no forced entry at 4:04, and then at 4:09, and at 4:18 is already leaving the house, and then on camera driving away at 4:20. 9 minutes to unalive 4 people single-handedly. Crazy. So whoever entered the house entered at 4:09, according to law enforcement, going right by Dylan's room, not sure why. Goes straight up to the 3rd floor to Kaylee's room. Sees Kaylee's not in there, there's just a dog in there. No interest in the dog. Goes across, finds Kaylee and Maddie in the same room. Somehow, Kaylee was rumored to have 57 stab wounds, but according to her father, he said that it was deep puncture wounds. Anyway, that only took 2 minutes, apparently. Then he walks down the stairs, or they walk down the stairs, into Xana's room, where Ethan is with Xana. Xana fought so hard, guys, that her fingers were almost severed off, okay? Not sure how Dylan is not hearing this, and she finally wakes up as he's leaving, looks him right in the face, and he just decides to go. You know, all that adrenaline pumping, I can't imagine how he could just have that kind of self-control. Then behind this apartment building, they see Bryan Kohberger on his pings from his phone. Regardless of what we think went on, the only people that know what went on are Ethan, Xana, Maddie, Kaylee, Dylan, and Bethany. And for some reason, Dylan and Bethany were spared. I don't see somebody pumped full of adrenaline, and according to law enforcement, stabbing somebody 57 times. I did notice my mistake, guys. I'm just gonna say it. When the person or persons entered the home at 4:09, it was actually 1 minute that they're guessing Maddie and Kaylee were murdered. In 1 minute. By one person who stabbed Kaylee 57 times, but according to her dad, they weren't stab wounds.
They were like large punctures.
one time in the past that somebody was pretending to break into my house, and Kaylee hid under her bed and called, 911 and was too scared to even talk. And then she called me at work, and I prepared her to jump out that window because I didn't know that it was a practical joke. I've already checked into the, could they have lived? Was it a slow bleed out or something? And it wasn't. So,
and it's been rumored that she was taken to a separate location and that she survived until 7 a.m. That's crazy. It sounds like they were torturing her. I've been noticing that a lot of people in the comments section are arguing with one another about your personal theories on what's going on. I just want to remind you guys that we all know nothing. It's all purely speculation. It's just us trying to find a solution to something bad that happened to 4 people. So let's keep in mind that there are lots of ways that crimes are solved. Sometimes crimes are solved by witnesses, sometimes by informants.
You two sons of bitches are going to college.
We'll go around to classes and activities, ask around about the drug, find out who the dealer is.
Sometimes by psychics. And I'm not above any of that. I really do enjoy the paranormal, and I found this video quite interesting.
Alright, so this is the Ouija-less app that I made a while ago. It's meant to be like the Ouija board and Ovilus devices that spit out letters, numbers, yes, no, etc. Can you tell me the initial of the person that killed the 4 college students? If you're a spirit that may have known this, can you please come forward? B. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but this is the only initial I've gotten.
Well, when I hear the letter B, I think people might think Brian, and they might think Brent, but I think Bethany. I don't know why, but she seems pretty darn silent. She knows. She knows something. She might not be responsible, but she definitely knows. It could have been anyone, guys. Let me throw some things out there, okay? You guys throw some things out here, and I'm gonna do it right now. Next week, we're going to explore OnlyFans. Apparently, these girls were on 2 websites, OnlyFans and Sugar Babies. Could have been some pervert. I mean, I don't know what they were doing on OnlyFans. If you know, by all means, let me know in the comments section, or you can email me. I don't have any problem with anybody contacting me. We need to figure this out. There are 4 young people who lost their lives. For what? Why? This is crazy. Thank you all for being here. And I'll see you on Monday at 4:20